Yo, good day guys, and welcome to another daily lookout on currency pairs where we look at different currency pairs and also gold, right? And if you are new here, do well to hit that follow button so that you keep updated in every of our videos on market analysis. Sorry guys, I haven't been able to drop any market analysis videos this week because we have really been busy doing some trainings on the new uh, mentorship people who have registered. So that's also remind me, if you also want to join the mentorship class, just go to the bio, you see the phone number, hit up the phone number, and then get yourself registered. The registration fee is just $10. Please do well to go to the bio and then get yourself registered, as we have started doing some introductions on forex trading. So moving on, we are on GJ and looking at what GJ is currently doing. GJ is actually bullish at the moment. Looking at it from the daily, I saw something. Okay, let's go to the weekly. Let's see if there's anything on the weekly we should look out for. Okay, currently just a break of structure to the upside, so we're just waiting for a pullback on the weekly. But on the daily, we are still very much bullish, waiting for market to retrace down, which we are trying to pick out these ascending highs, which liquidity are currently resting on, right? So we have actually take out the first. Okay, we haven't taken out the first one, only the internal one. So we are expecting some pullback right there, right? So, but we are still bullish, having some break of structures to the upside. But this is our last daily break of structure, so we're expecting a pullback into this area, for like a pullback to this area to continue bullish to the upside, right? So after taking out this our trend line, which is this first touch, second touch, and also third touch, which market broke out of the area, and then we're expecting a pullback into that area for a continuation buy, right? So on the daily, we are also bullish, and then going down to the 4 hours to wait for the pullback to continue. But on the 4 hours, we are also bullish, which we are having this break of structure, break of structure. This is our daily POI. We're expecting market to come back into, but first we have to break structure to the downside before we can be able to start up that daily pullback. So, but currently we are in this range, which is this break of structure, our swing high and our swing low, and then we have this impulsive fair value gap, which shows that the buyers are still in control, and we have a valid POI, but we don't have a structural liquidity. So hopefully we are seeing markets coming back into this POI, which I'm currently on a sell on that area. I'm gonna sell on this, which is not really advisable, but because I can see my liquidity module around here, that's why I also took this trade, and I saw a flip, right, which we have this fair value gap, which we need to also cover up. And then looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can see that there is no structural liquidity, so we're expecting market to also take out this low and then continue to the upside, using this as inducement, or market still come back and break it and continue to the downside forward, for us to continue that sells to the downside, right? So that's what we're expecting on GJ. But currently I'm on a sell on this GJ. In the 15-minute time frame, I saw something, because on the 4 hours, if you go to the 4 hours, we are bullish, so we're expecting to facilitate that pullback for that 4 hours, which we got here. We have this last break of structure, a sweep that caused a change of character, and then in this area we have a structural liquidity, but we don't have a valid POI, which market came back and swept this high and break structure. So we have a two break of structure, which indicate that what market is already pushing down massively. Though we have a a fair value gap right here and a POI. So market can also use that to push more higher. But looking at what we have a group of structure, we have a sweep, and we have this flip zone that market flip in this area. You can see that point right here. Market flip this zone, which we have after I struck this high. This was the POI that caused that sweep. Market came back into this POI right here, pushed higher, reacted to it before it pushed down impulsively. With that impulsive move I saw, I decided to enter the trade. Right, I needed to see a V shape, a V reversal, a very V shape, something like this. Consider V shape, right, which shows that what the sellers are now in the market. Though the market is still bullish, but we can still use that to rate our trades, right? So apparently I'm still on the trade, but which is not really advisable, right? But let's see how it goes. Hopefully we take out this low right here and then targeting this area, or even the low, because there's no structural liquidity protecting this POI. So that is that on GJ. So we should be waiting for what market to probably pull down. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So we should be expecting market to probably pull down into this area. Look for your buys and continue the buy, or you wait to see if market will take out this low and still come back into this area, which will continue the sell, right? So but hopefully we are bullish and the momentum is kind of high, so this POI should be able to push market to the upside. So going into AUD USD, we got a buy there, which we have hit TP on that. We got this sell, this massive sell, which we were targeting this POI. I didn't enter this trade. I totally forgot about this trade. After I hit TP, I was supposed to take a buy, which I think it happened in the night, which I was out of the market, because when market got back into that POI, it changed structure. Let me get to that point. It changed structure, and this was supposed to be a buy for me at that point, but I lost that buy. I lost this buy, which was right here. This buy right here, taking it all the way to the up, but I didn't get to that point. But I waited for a continuation buy around this point, which after market got to this area, it gave us a break of structure and then a break of structure to the downside, which means what, it has cleared liquidity and break structure to the upside. After that, it came back into this area. It didn't really give me any entering module, which it didn't, nothing was just happening. So I identified the ABC trend, which is the group A, B, C, D, and we try to beat it from here, pushing more high to the upside. And then that was it, and this was the trend for that. So without going to AUD we have a buy on AUD which is still ongoing on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame looking okay, which we have this daily PI. Market got to the daily PI, change character on this point, tapping into this other block, and then pushed down massively, which we waited for what, a change of character on the 15 minutes, which we had that change of character right here. We have this first break of structure, change of character here. We have the break of structure here, right? And then market came back aggressively. I also waited for what, a change of character to the upside, which signified that what, market is now bullish on all time frame, right? market is now bullish on all time frame, on the daily, on the 4 hours, and also on the 15-minute time frame. And eventually market came back into this area and swept all this low right here, all these lows, and then hopefully we can see that reaction and impulsive move to the upside. So we are hopefully waiting for markets to break out of this range, which has been ranging since this afternoon. So we are hoping to break out of that range with this a pause, giving us a break of structure to the upside. We had this first big change of character in that area there, and we also have the sweep right here. Market swept all those lows right there. And then looking at the overall of everything, you can see the market is bullish, right? On this daily time frame, if you go to the daily time frame, you can see on this point we had this break of structure right here, which market came back, but this market came back and then up into our PUI, which is right here, then scaling down to the lower time frame, waiting for market to also turn bullish. And then we had this fractal break of structure to the upside. We had another break of structure, leaving us with structural liquidity. Market came back impulsively and still failed to break that low. You can see, still failed to break it. And then when we went to the lower time frame, we got what, another confirmation of buys, right, which gave us that confidence to enter the trade. So hopefully to take out this ascending high right here, all these highs, first touch, second touch, third touch, and we're expecting market to break out of this trend and then take out all those highs right there. So my final TP should be around this point, which I've hold my first one 1:3 around this point, and then I'll take the rest to the upside, right? So that is that on AUD CHF. Going to card JPY. So card JPY, I have finally entered my POI, and then I'm expecting a sell right from there. Why? Because if you look at the structure right here, you can see structure have been bullish until it changed structure to the downside, which was bearish, which market came back and tapped into this 4-hour POI. After tapping into the 4-hour POI, coming down to this tapped into the daily POI, then it came down to the 4-hour time frame and wait for a break of structure to the downside, which confirmed that what market is now bearish, right? If you have this 4-hour boss right there, so we waited for market which has tapped into this POI. So you should be looking for what, a confirmation on the 15-minute time frame, or a change of character in the 15-minute time frame for it to what, execute your trade, right? So we have this last bust right here, so we're expecting market to take out this low, giving us our structural liquidity modus, and then we can enter the trade to the downside if this our structure is going to hold, because refining this daily structure, we still have enough room of power PI right there, yeah, but because we are following the daily overflow, we have tapped into that daily demand right there. Let me take it to that point, which we have, you see, we are bullish, which we had this daily impulsive move, and then it came down aggressively, breaking structure to the downside, right, and then came back and tapped into this PI, still pulling down back, right? So now that's what we are waiting for. After I tapped into this PI, we jump down into our 4-hour time frame and wait for a 4-hour change of character, or a 4-hour break of structure, which we had this 4-hour break of structure. Market came back into that PI. We are now looking forward to what, to also sell after we've seen the confirmation. We also sell from that area down into the PI, taking out all those structural liquidity which is resting below this low, tapping into this PI, which is the origin that started this pool, and then you can also look for buys to the upside. So that is that for C card, right? So currently I didn't want to enter from there, so I'm waiting for a shift and then also waiting for my liquidity model to occur before I can take my trades. So on USD card, we're also waiting for price to come back into this our POI, so we can take a buy to the upside. Taking a buy to the upside. Stop loss below the low, and then taking it all the way to the structural liquidity right there, because market has tapped into this POI, which is the daily POI. Going into the daily, let's see what we have on the daily. So on the daily, we had this sweep right here, and we had this break of structure. We have the structural liquidity, and then market is actually reacting from this structural liquidity, which we have had what a break of structure to the upside, internal break of structure, right? So this inducement or this structural liquidity is facilitating this pullback for these areas for us to tap into this POI and continue to the upside to get into this what daily POI. So right now, what we are waiting for is just market to come back into that zone and give us a change of character to signify that what markets have shifted bullish, and then we can look to buy up to this our daily POI. This was a daily this is a daily POI, right? But it's on the structural liquidity zone, right? Which people will be looking to sell, take out this low. But if this low doesn't go, that means we are looking out to take out this high right here to tap into our original POI, which we have a chalk right here. I was expecting market to come back into this area and then give me this sell, but eventually it's actually just pushed down into this area. So I'll be looking forward to ignoring anything around this area for now, because when market gets here, it's going to move impulsively, so push market to the upside. So that is that. So on gold, finally on gold, we are on a buy on gold, which I also posted this on my TikTok. If you go to the last video or the last post, I think that was the last. I wasn't able to do video, but I was able to give narrative and signals on that. So if you're not following me, you can do well to follow so that you won't be missing out, especially on my stories. I usually post set up on my stories. So on the lastly on gold, we had this liquidity sweep on this area. Firstly, on the daily time frame, we were bullish. We took out this low, right? We also took out this low right here. So we're expecting markets to continue to the upside, but until the 4-hour time frame is bullish before we can now continue the trend. Before I was targeting that high, but when I checked the market properly, I noticed that the 4 hours is still bearish at this point, because we have this last break of structure in the 4 hours, and then we have this as our strong high here, and also have going into 4 hours, sorry. So that was okay, it's already there, which have this break of structures to the downside. We have this structural liquidity protecting this POI right here. So but if you look at what market is reacting from, it's just reacting from this zone right here. This zone right here. Assuming it was reacting from something like this point here, it took out this low, I will now be very certain that market this point might not hold right, but it's actually reacting from a point of I don't know, I can't call that a point of interest, because it just swept that low and then it reverses high, which after I swept the low, we got the buy from there, which we had this break of structure to the upside. Let me increase that so that you can see properly. I had the first buy from this point here, which was one I posted. So I was looking forward to take that buy to the upside, which I'm still holding the buy. Stop loss below that low, and then we're targeting the next swing high, right? But when I saw this, I decided to enter the second trade, giving me looking for like 1/3 for this, and I can see if I can hold the market up to that to take out this high right here, this high right here. So but let's see how it goes. Though we tapped into this liquidity, this structural liquidity right here, and then market came back tapping us in forward that buy. So this is the same thing that happened on is this C card? Nope, not this. It's something that happened on, we're expecting, yeah, on USD card, right? Expecting the same thing on USD card, which we have our POI right here. And the market is currently reacting from this daily POI, which facilitating that pullback for this to hold to the upside, right? That is something that happened on gold. So mainly on gold, where this we are bearish, right? But on gold, the difference is we are bullish. We are bullish. So the market got to this POI. You can see when it got here, the reverse came down after tapping into the structural liquidity area. It came down into that point. Let me make it a little bigger. Yeah, it came down into that point, tapping us in for the next buy. So we are looking out to take out this high and this structural liquidity and see if this zone is going to hold or it's just going to be a pullback. Just going to be a pullback for what a pullback for the continuation entry. So I'm just looking at it that if gold was supposed to buy, it's meant to take all the liquidity it needs to take out all these highs right here. But looking at the liquidity taking is not looking enough for me, right? Because those have been mitigated. The lows have already been, or let's say the POI have been mitigated. Assuming the sweep was around here, assuming we had that sweep first on this point right here, and then market now came back, assuming we have that sweep right there, and the market take out the high and continue, then I should look forward to buy more. Because why? It took out the inducements. It took out the inducements right here. Because at this point, people will not be looking forward to buy, right? Because there's no potential POI, right? Inducement should be something that can entice people to enter the market. But looking at from where market is reacting from, it's not going to entice people to enter the market. So that's why I decided to, assuming it was this point we had like this POI right here, or this point, we had this last POI which was supposed to hold the market to the upside, which we finally got a break of structure, but eventually it failed, right? Assuming it was this point we had our sweep, and then we are having this, then I can take it to the upside. But at this point, it's not looking like a very good point of sweep for you to or inducement, but this is not an inducement. It just grabbed a little liquidity above that. That's why you can just see a minor pull to the upside. And you can see when market tapped into this area, you can see that impulsive pull to the downside. So we are looking to buy, just buy with a target to a liquidity level, not targeting the highs. Because at this point we have this sweep, we have this break of structure, we have structural liquidity that's protecting this low. So looking for buys should be at this point. At this point, 1:3 I'm out, 1:3 I'm out, a total of 1:6, which is a very good trade for me. So if the market decides to take out this high, then I can look for another re-entry. But for now, I'll still be looking for the sells on gold. I'll still be looking for sells on gold because the inducement which was taken on that point wasn't a valid inducement. So I want you guys to note that down, that this buy that is occurring might not be a strong buy. Why? Because the inducement taken at that point wasn't a strong inducement, which if you go into the 1 hour time frame, I think some people might see it as a strong inducement, because on the 1 hour I think we have something different there. So on the 1 hour it took out this low right here. It took out this low, which was the last point we are expecting market to hold, right? This point was supposed to hold, it wasn't meant to break this area, but because it breaks this area to the downside, I cannot be expecting that buy I'm expecting. And if you can still see this point, the market got to this inducement, consider impulsive move, and that might be the same thing when it gets to this point area, right? So let us this is just like to inform you guys that this inducement you're seeing right here is not really a strong inducement to hold this buy up onto this high. Less probably market can still break up to the upside and probably come back and take up some inducement, because I cannot really see any inducement. This pull that is happening here is because of this inducement grabbed around this area, right? That's why I can see this buy happening, impulsive buy. But this buy taking out this high and this high is going to be a very lot for it to do. So this is just to tell you guys that the inducement taken around this point is not really a valid inducement. It's not really a valid inducement. So look out for the buys with caution, and more I'll be looking out for more of sells and not of buys, because it's only the daily time frame that is still bullish at this point, which is a fractal bullish daily time frame. Now looking at this point here, we had what, a break of structure, and after a break of structure we should be expecting what, a pullback. And if this pullback is holding, I can see what, I can see this trend line being broken at this point, or I can use this trend line right here have been broken, and then you can use this point as what, a retest for market to continue to the downside. So in this area I could still be looking for what, sells and not buys at this point. Everybody is looking for buys, and for me, until that 4-hour high have gone, until this 4-hour high have been taken, I'll still be looking for what, a sell, a major sell and a minor buys, a major sell and a minor buys. All these trades are already in break even, because I don't trust market at this point for any buys. So I've taken any buy you are on currently, just break even that buy, because what we are seeing right now is a major buy, not is a minor buy, not a major buy. Is a minor buy, not a major buy. So on gold, should be looking out for what, more of sells. Should be looking out for more of sells. I keep repeating that because we are bearish on the 4 hours, we are bearish on the immediate time frame, we are bearish on our entry time frame, we are really bullish on the daily time frame, and which the bullish momentum is not looking that strong, right? Market taking out this high, this low, and still coming to take out this low is not really looking well. If you took out only this low and break structure to the upside, you can know that this was a valid break of structure. Why? Because it was a valid POI. This liquidity taking here wasn't a valid POI, so you cannot take this as inducement. I don't know if you guys understand. Valid inducement or valid sweep should be, inducement should be something that will entice people to enter the market. This POI right here is a valid POI. It's something that will entice what, buyers to enter the market. Well, but when market disrespects that zone and breaks lower below it, that is what we call an inducement, because people were interested in buying in this area. But you cannot be interested in buying in this candle. Why? Because it has already been mitigated already. So this is not a valid sweep. It's just a minor sweep to like facilitate a pullback for this to hold. And you can see on the daily, we are also fractal what, bearish on this point. So every other thing I'm seeing is just being bearish, bearish, bearish. So I should be looking for what, more sells. So guys, thank you guys for sticking around, and then see you guys tomorrow.